Hello guys, I'm Edward from HKExcel, IB Specialist. So we found that many students comment on our YouTube, IG, and Facebook asking us on how to revise effectively. Back in high school, I used to study like last minute, but honest suggestion for you guys, you have to revise like at least a year before your IB diploma. So that's why I decided to make a video for you guys to share with you guys on how I study back in high school, 3 study techniques to help you save time and also achieve a level 7. So tip number 1, don't just skim through the questions. You have to actually do the past paper questions. If you want to learn something, you have to actually do it because it will train your brain. So it's what we call the active learning. If you just read the mark schemes without working on it, so your memory won't last. But you ask me a question, oh, I only have like maybe 2 months before my IB exam, so what should I do? I can't finish all the past paper questions, right? So I would suggest you to apply the 60 seconds rule that I used back in high school. So when I get stuck at the questions, I won't spend more than 60 seconds. So in that 60 seconds, go through the questions with everything I can. So it's not like I sit there and then doing nothing to wait 60 seconds because I want to train my brain to actually think about like how to solve the questions. At least I know the direction to solve it, right? Because if you know the way to solve it, then the rest is just like the application and operations, right? So like using the calculators, applying the equations, things like that. So that's the way I do it. So in that case, I can make sure the 60 seconds time I will work on my brain, and also after that I'll make sure I understand the question. Yeah, so in that case you can take a balance between revision, active learning, and also save time. So the second tip for you guys is you have to remember your mistakes, because many students, they thought they do the questions one time is already enough, but actually especially like the questions you find it difficult and also challenging, so you have to always highlight the questions and make sure you don't make the same mistake again. So for example, like if I apply the 60 seconds rule, right? So if I fail to solve the questions and I need to check the mark scheme, then I'll use like an orange or maybe yellow highlight pen to highlight that questions. Okay, so we have this question marked down. So for example, out of 10 questions, you may have like 4 or 5 questions struggling with, right? Because all the other questions you can solve it in 60 seconds. Obviously, you don't need to waste time to revise that again. So what you need to do is just to revise those challenging questions. So it can already save you like half of your time, right? Because you originally have 10 questions and now you only need to study 4 to 5 questions. And then one more trick is you have to revise at least 2 times, because when you revise those challenging questions, for example, those 4 to 5 questions, right? So you may not do it right second time, so you may find still like 1 or 2 questions you still get it wrong. So that means you have some concepts unclear, so you have to focus on the topic by topic past paper question to make sure you master that topic before you move on to the other questions. Okay, so in that case, then I will use the second color. So for example, I'll use red color, so that means the urgency for me. So next time I need to revise those questions with the yellow highlight and then the red highlight, right? So for now, 10 questions, you can already limit your time to just 1 to 2 questions. So that's the way I study to save time. So tip number 3, you have to do year by year past paper question. You have to train your exam condition. So many students just do the topic by topic past paper questions. For example, they just do logs, like math topic, and then they just do functions, or maybe biology topics. They just do like human physiology, molecular biology, for example, like that. So, but in that way, you can only train up like a specific muscle in your part, just like doing gym. Yeah, so but if you want to go for a race, so you want to go for a competition, you need to have like the whole training, right? So year by year training is just like that. So year by year past paper is very, very important, because it will train up like everything you need to know in all the chapters, and it will consolidate your memories. And one more important thing is the fastest way to check up your like missing list, so like your weakness. So for example, if you're doing like a math past paper question, you always find yourself get stuck at the calculus questions, then you know that you need to revise topic by topic questions on calculus chapter, right? So that's the way I check myself, and always reserve like 3 to 4 years of past paper questions for unseen questions. So because all the questions you practiced before, they are the questions you have done it before, right? And then you just do the year by year past paper questions. Most of the time you have already memorized the answers. For now, it's like 2020, right? So you can reserve like 2019 past paper questions and then 2018 past paper questions. You can reserve 2 years, and that means you will have 4 papers because we have time zone 1, time zone 2, right? So time zone 1 for the US and then time zone 2 for the Asian countries. So in that case, you can have 4 unseen papers to train you up. So that's the way I train myself. So you have to make sure you do the year by year past paper question, check up the list, check up your weakness, and then practice on that. So that actually will save you more time, because if you just drill on topic by topic chapters, then you will forever just go deep into that one chapter. So the last tip for you guys is success modeling. So the fastest way, the most efficient way to save time, to achieve efficiency, to get a level 7 is to learn from those who succeed before and got a level 7. So you have to find an experienced IB tutor who has done the curriculum, who has achieved level 7 before and has proven success, help over 1,000 students to get top grade in their IB. So if you're interested in signing up trial lesson with us, with HKExcel, so where you can get 1 free trial notes, so full notes, concept notes, and also we sorted by chapter notes, and also you will get an hour interactive lesson with our IB experts. So if you find any subject struggling with, so please sign up at the link below, hkexcel.org,